an opportunity to put something new on your resume and have it really stand out, and they were all just essentially doing the exact same thing, and not really learning anything out of it.
Yeah.
I disagree with that because I think that if that was what you wanted to do and that's going to continue to keep you with the job for the rest of your life, that'd be a great idea to do.
If you're gonna be with that job the rest of your life, then probably it would be a bad idea to leave it if you wanted to take an internship. That's a valid point. Did you have any? Right, but most people aren't in that, unfortunately, most people aren't in that boat. And some people, there's that thing where some people have full and part-time jobs and they just can't leave that job to take on an internship. That's why we spread it out, why I'm doing this now, so you'll be able to, you can do an intern, you can do 10 hours a week for half a year, or whatever the case may be. Just learning something new, just getting out there and doing something else. Again, you can't do it at your job, that's a possibility, but we're really trying to make it so that you're learning a lot there. I don't want it to just be where you're serving tables or, a bartender for your intern. That's not an internship. Now, most of you may hate, some of you may not like that, and I get it, because you don't want to leave the job that you're working at, but we'll talk in about 5 years, and we'll see how you think at that point. Because getting out there and seeing some of these internships that's possibilities, this is the time of your life when you really need to do that stuff. It's not every day where you can have Disney, where you can just go to Disney and work for half a year and enjoy that, or Orange Lake or Hilton or IHG or any of those. This is really why you're in college, to be able to work with companies like that. And some of you it's not, and I get that. But I would encourage each and every one of you to explore those options, because I want you to think big. Grading policies is a standard grading policy here at the university. Special accommodations for students with disabilities. Again, DRS, if you're on internship and you have disability, if you have questions about that with the internship provider, let's work with the DRS office here at the University of Memphis. And also with regards to your assignments, if there's any issues with anything having to do with that, just work with them, and they will bring me into the conversation. I'll be able to talk with you about that. No assignment will be accepted late. Now, as some of you know, I'm a realist, and I live in the real world, and I understand things happen. So I do know that Sunday deadlines can't always happen for one reason or another. I had one student, for example, my very first year here, who was in Montana or something at Yellowstone National Park. She had limited internet access. I mean, could not get her son, and I understand that. So I'm flexible, but you just need to be upfront with me and let me know. All right, if you're not upfront, don't let me know. Then I think a different way. That you just don't care about getting the assignments in on time. But if you contact me, change the scenario. All right. So Chan, go to students' expectations. Really, the first is for in-person classes with texting and talking, cell phones, gun chewing, all that great stuff. But the expectations of the professor, I'm usually really, really good at getting back to people within 1 day from an email. So email me, but always make sure to copy whatever GAs are on, even during internship. When you get the syllabus for that, make sure you copy everybody, because some people are away. I'll be away at a conference in 2 weeks, and I've limited it. I won't be able to jump on every email. That's why it's important to copy Eduardo and Bonita, so one of us is always able to reply to you. And generally, we'll always have your feedback on your assignments within 3 to 4 days. Let's turn. The majority of this is online. Is an online class. We're on page 32 now. Especially if you're taking the online class, of course, but we don't have discussion boards or anything like that within the class, so that's really not applicable here. There's no extra credit in internship. Reporting illness or absence. Now this is somewhat an important one. If you're going to be absent from work, like some of you some people will miss class or whatever, not email the instructor, or miss whatever. And we kinda let you get away with that to a certain extent, because there's nothing, nothing I can really do about that. But when you're at work, you need to communicate better with your employers and let them know that, when you'll be out of work and why. And if there's any extended thing while you're on internship or you're gonna be missing for an extended period of time, try to loop me in as well, so I'm aware of what's going on. Because the employers, they may reach out, I just wanna make sure that whoever is teaching that class is aware of what's going on during internship. Inclement weather, same thing. Just being in contact with your employer. If there's a tornado warning or anything going on where you shouldn't be going out, that's one thing. But if it's windy or raining outside, that's a different story. Syllabus change, again, with everything, the syllabus is subject to change, but it's generally not, I'll generally take things away. I won't really add to syllabus. Professional dress, this is something that you, the interviewing professional dress, this is the standards that you should go by, even over the next 4 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're gonna have the mock interviews, and I'll have more information about that next week. But we need to be professionally dressed for that. And also for the Hilton field trip the following week, it's professional dress. You also need this for your final presentation, which we're gonna go over later on this morning. Anybody have any questions about interviewing professional dress, what that entails? We could go through line by line, but, okay. Moving on to learning objectives, memorandum of agreement. This is an agreement between you and the employer about what you want to get out of that internship. This is what differentiates an internship from a part or full-time job. For the most part, is that during internship you are, you have learning objectives that you need to cover as part of the course. So we have guidelines for writing learning objectives, which, if you turn to page 37, this is where you fill this out. Now, there is a PDF form in the class that you can type them into this, and then you print it off and you have your employer sign it and you sign it. Basically, this is a contract. This is holding everyone accountable. It's what you want to learn specifically throughout the internship. I don't want it to be, very vague, like I want to learn to be a better bartender. I want to have good guest service skills, things like that. I want it to be real, something tangible that you can measure. We get SMART goals, we'll talk about that. But these are the primary learning objectives for you. And if you have issues with this, or you have, when developing this, just email the course instructor at the time. We'll work with you to help develop good course goals. But I'm gonna make sure before you present this to your employer that it's nice and buttoned up, tight. It's what it should be. So basically, you're signing this, the supervisor's signing this, you're scanning it and uploading it into eCourseware. Again, you want to be very specific with your learning objectives. And page 35 and 36 have a very good, some very good examples of that. For example, I will improve my skills with Bloomberg financial software. Some of this may be like point of sale software for if you're in a restaurant, or property management software if you're in a hotel. That's where I want you to be very specific with that. Another thing, like the fifth one there about being proficient in Microsoft Excel, we talked about that before. It's, I don't want to see things like I want to be better at Microsoft Office. That's very vague. I want you to be specific as to what you hope to accomplish. Okay? So you're putting that in page 37, the memorandum of agreement. The 2 is to your employer, from is, of course, from you, date, and then for regarding, you're going to put whatever your name, Tim Flohr, learning objectives. Okay. Going to SMART goals. This is something we're going to talk about a little later on today as well. Is SMART goals. Everyone's heard of SMART goals before? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. It's very important when you're making goals, either personally or professionally, that you know, this is a good format to follow. Because without that, it's very difficult to reach objectives. You can't clearly define what they are or how you're going to get there or what time they're going, you know, what time frame you hope to be able to do it. So this provides you a pretty good, some good examples as to what to do. And then we also have a SMART goal sheet, which is, actually you have it on here, and I also have it on the handout, which we'll be going over later on. So whenever you're making your goals, you're following the format, and then these are the goals that you're gonna plug into your memorandum of agreement. Do you have any questions on that? Okay. So they're gonna go into the page 40, and I also have that, the SMART goal template. I have that as a template on the eCourseWare. You can just go in and you type those in, okay? Type them in, print them off, type them in, save them as a PDF, and upload those when the time's appropriate. Organizational introductory paper on page 41. This is to tell us about the organization as a whole. Now, some of these organizations we will know pretty well because they've already been vetted by the university, by myself, like Disney, Orange Lake, places like that. And then some we won't know. We won't know them, but they are approved because we've already would have taught